What is up, my peeps? Joshua Smith here with another GSD interview. Every single week we interview top entrepreneurs, top health and fitness professionals, and just straight up top badasses that dominate their space. So today I'm absolutely stoked to have my good friend Anna Selby in the studio. Anna is a real estate company owner, operator, manager, badass realtor, badass entrepreneur. She also owns multiple other businesses that we'll get into today. So welcome to the show, Anna. Stoked to have you here.
Thank you. I'm stoked.
Yeah, dude, this is dope, man. Been wanting to have you on for a while, and glad we're finally able to connect. So, dude, you got a lot going on. You know, right? Like, you come in here, we're talking about all this other stuff you got going on, some huge projects, which is just epic. You know, it's awesome seeing the growth that you've been able to attain in such a short period of time. You know, but you haven't always started there, right? That's not.
Oh, no.
A lot of people, when they see uber successful people like you, you know, they'll sit there and look at that like, oh, she must have a special genetic code like that I don't have. She might, you know, whatever. But then you realize that, well, we all have a journey, and, you know, just a lot of times we've just been willing to outfail, out-persevere, and out-push everybody and not quit and just keep moving. So let's kind of rewind the clocks and just go through your journey, dude. Like how did you get here? Like, let's rewind it back to, like, okay, you graduate high school and...
Oh, that was a train smash. I grew up in a bubble. I mean, long story short, I grew up in a bubble world, small town, had to get good grades. So I was that classic case and went to college and went crazy.
Where'd you grow up?
I grew up in Flagstaff.
Okay.
Flagstaff, Arizona, outside on a ranch. My bus drive was an hour into school, literally with horses. Like, yeah, you learn the work ethic. Then I didn't realize I just hated life because it was a small town.
Yep.
So I graduated, I went to college, and right out of the gate, I became an entrepreneur. Funny story, which I'll share, a bomb. I know we said we're going to drop bombs, is I actually got in trouble in college for selling kegs out of my closet. That was my first entrepreneurial kick.
Yeah.
I met a kid at Safeway. He was RTVing, returning to vendor damaged kegs. We buy them, sell them to the frats. That's how I figured out that there was other ways to make money, and you could actually be an entrepreneur. It was not just in a box like you get at college. Fast forward, finding myself through my 20s because that was just fun.
So where did you go to college?
I went to college at NAU.
Okay.
And then I finished at ASU.
Okay, so then how did you, so you finished college, which was good,
It was
right?
another funny story how I ended up down here, which is actually embarrassing, but I would share if you want.
Yeah.
I played volleyball for NAU. 22nd birthday, never really knew much about Scottsdale. My girlfriends, my sorority took me down here. Bunch of friends, we went out, had fun, embarrassing moment, had a little too much Jaeger, I admit it. Got a little cocky, decided I was going to climb a tree to steal an ornament. My birthday is on Thanksgiving, so ornaments were out downtown Scottsdale. I climbed a tree. I think I got about 13 feet wearing 6-inch stilettos. I dropped. I fell because nobody told me the ornament was wired in. Nobody told me that part. So long story short, I actually shattered my ankle, shattered my leg, broke 2 ribs, dislocated my tailbone and my nose. I was in the hospital for 2 weeks.
Damn, dude. You
knocked out. I lost everything because I couldn't walk for 6 months.
Yeah.
So that was my first, like, holy shit moment. Where you kind of like have to figure out. And that's really where I understood the grind, because I was literally on crutches at a community college. I had lost everything. So at the age of 22, I'm like rebuilding even my little college career that I had going. So that's how I ended up here.
Okay.
That's how I ended up in PA.
If you had been there, I mean, who knows where life would have taken you otherwise, right?
Absolutely.
So you're at ASU, you're finishing out school there. Well, I want to know about the keg story a little bit more, dude. So
okay, this is I thought it was classic. To me, in my head, me being always a good kid, straight A growing up, I didn't think I was doing anything wrong. So if you want the story, I literally met a kid that worked at Safeway. One night we were at like a event, I don't know what it was, but he was bragging, or not bragging, he was complaining that the keg distributors, if there was a ding or if there was a damage, they would do what was called an RTV. They would return to vendor. So he was instructed by his boss to trash them. They just leave them out on the dock. So to me, in my head, I'm like, dude, you cannot waste the beer. Like, this is a prime opportunity. So I negotiated him, hey, I'll kick you $25, leave him out. I'll swing by around 10 to 11. Went and bought a duffel bag because I was small. I bought a duffel bag on wheels. I loaded up. Where I think I went wrong is I cut out the drywall in my closet in the dorm, and I didn't really take into the fact that the dorm was dry. It was McConnell. Anybody that went to NAU, McConnell's a dry dorm, just so you know. So I was fine. I was selling them to the fraternity. So I'd pick them up on a Friday, 10 o'clock. I'd have those fraternities mainly were my main source of business. I'd sell them for $75, $85 because they were underage. So there's a profit margin there.
Yeah.
Sell them. They'd load them out. It was awesome. It worked. It went for probably about 2 weeks. And then some girl in the dorm got busted actually for IDs. I guess there's a lot of different entrepreneurs. She ratted me out.
Yeah.
So I made it.
You're interfering with her business too. She's like, "Oh, my fake ID business is going down because this Anna chick keeps
is rocking the kegs."
Yeah.
Well, I didn't think about that. There's an
dude,
epiphany. That's why she ratted me. But so I actually met with the dean and I learned the power of negotiation. I negotiated my way because I was kicked out of college. I renegotiated with him and pretty much just pushed every level I could and said, "What if I got involved in the school?" So my way of getting involved is I rushed a sorority. Probably not the brightest idea, but it gave me a place to stay because I had a sorority house and I could continue college.
Yeah.
So that was my
So at that point, so now you had a little taste of entrepreneurship. Did that switch your mindset at the time of, okay, now this is cool, now I want to go into running businesses? Or at that point, were you still, I mean, did you have a plan at that point, thinking like corporate America? Or was that a defining moment where like, okay, I've seen how businesses ran. Now I know that I'm going to go and be in a business for myself.
So I've always been a little bit, actually, an extreme dreamer. I've been a dreamer. So when I went to college, I was like, that's it. I'm going to get my fashion merchandise degree. I'm going to design clothes. I'm that creative, quirky mind. So I was doing that. I got into the keg business, realized there's no limits on what you can do. And then I switched my degree actually to interior design.
Okay.
Because I figured in there I could be an entrepreneur. I could attack the design. It's an all-in-one marriage brand. Ready to go.
So then you get down here, you fall out of a tree, fuck yourself up, fall out of a tree.
Horribly. Yeah, try to explain that to your parents because my mom to this day swears that it was a drinking and driving accident. I'm like, no, I really fell out of a fucking tree.
So mama, yeah.
That's so bad.
What do you do, right? So, okay, so then you go to ASU, you graduate with your degree in interior design.
Yeah.
You go get an interior design job?
Oh, no. So when I got out of college, there was a huge demand for interior design. It was a pain in the ass. You could not get an interview to save your life. So again, I had to be strategic. So what I did is I started applying to different architectural companies in Scottsdale Park and all over for janitor positions. They're going to interview me for a janitor position because they don't know what I look like because at the time they didn't have pictures. You don't submit a photo resume. So I'd get in there just to get into the door to talk to the head guy.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, he's like, you're not here for a janitor position. No, I'm not. This is what I need from you, and this is what I'm willing to do. So my first job into interior design was the infamous redliner. I would sit all day at his desk and redline CAD drawings, replace doors, make sure everything was to code. It was horribly boring, but I moved up quick. I ended up getting, from there I met somebody, worked at a countertop shop, and I ended up moving up and running the company in 6 months. Yeah. I had the skill set, I had the motivation, I had the desire. I just couldn't get anybody to talk to me because I was some kid out of college. Yeah. So I had to get strategic and say I'd clean toilets.
It's thinking out of the box, man. You know, we talk about this in the show. I'm like, you know, all these kids that get out of college that, you know, they want this job. Like they want somebody to go to them. I'm like, why don't you just go into that dream job? Tell them that you will work for the next 30 days, 80 hours a week, 100% for free, scrubbing toilets, doing whatever. Like you got to get in there and prove yourself and think of outside the box way. So I absolutely love it, dude. So
and when they tell you no, the biggest thing I could tell anybody, if they tell you no, ask them why.
Yeah.
And not just some lame ass excuse. Tell me why I didn't get it, and tell me how I could do better, so I don't mess up the next opportunity. I bet you it's going to be an aha to them. They're going to see something and they'll move forward.
Yeah, that's dope, dude. Love it. So okay, so you're running the countertop business. I mean, guess what I'm trying to get to is, I mean, at what point did you decide, okay, working for people is cool, but I got to go work for myself? I mean, what was that transition
I
like?
still am in this brain beat of being scared at this point. Fast forward, I had so the market crashed. We know that. That was around the 2009, 10.
Okay.
Our company closed. So I again, being random and Jill of all trades, I applied at the sheriff's office kind of as a joke, ended up getting an interview and got hired. So I worked at the sheriff's office and basically I worked civilian because I had a new baby and I couldn't go into the squad. I would love to get sworn, but at the time my husband didn't agree, now ex. So I worked with the sheriff's office. I had a 1-year-old, worked at the sheriff's office. I went back to school because in my mind I felt that I wasn't qualified enough. So I was a ding dong, went and got another bachelor's degree in global business management, started an online boutique, and then we lost our ass in 2011, had to file our list our house for short sale.
Okay.
We hired an agent, and he was leading us down a horrible path because he didn't know what he was doing. He was leading us into a buy and bow. We figured it out, and that's when I went and got my real estate license.
Okay. Yeah.
And insert real estate. I'm like, forget it. You can't do it. I'm going to go get my license, 2-week crash course. I was pregnant with a 1-year-old, school, full-time job, online boutique, went and got my real estate license, literally slept 2 hours. Those 2 weeks, I was psycho. I slept, got a license, listed our house, fucking sold it. That was my first sale.
That's badass, dude. So
yeah.
And you got into the market then at a gnarly time.
Everyone thought it was crazy.
Like everybody else is running out, you're running in.
Head first. I saw opportunity though.
Yeah.
I saw opportunity because if I'm getting screwed, my friend's getting screwed, my other friend's getting screwed, I just want to go help.
Well, and you solved your own problem.
Yeah.
Right. So, and I think that's so critical for people to note is, okay, if I can just figure out how to solve my own problems really good, then I'll become successful because then other people want to employ me to solve their problems. So did you start attacking, okay, you solved your own problem with a short sale.
Yes.
Did you start attacking short sales right out of the gate at that point? What did you go after? And let's kind of walk through. One thing I get a lot of feedback from our listeners on is, okay, we have all these successful agents and we hear what they're doing now, which is awesome.
How did you get there?
90% of realtors failed in the first 3 years.
Yes.
And the first year is typically the biggest struggle. Like, what did you do in that first year to go create business, to become, how'd you get your start?
So I figured looking outside to in the real estate world, what I saw was missing in a real estate community in my mind was personal branding. I think agents try to become Century 21, Keller Williams, what all these companies are. They try to be that brand. And in my mind, I wanted to be my own brand. I just wanted to be Anna Selby. That's what I wanted. So I did what I think a lot of agents fail on is I was not a secret agent. I literally, if I was at a drive-thru at Starbucks, when they weren't looking, I was throwing a card in their damn drive-thru window. I would go out to a restaurant. I would literally go in every stall. People thought I was crazy, and I would leave cards everywhere. I wanted everybody to know I was doing real estate. That's the one thing I wanted. And then getting into short sales, short sales are a bitch. The banks are not easy. I was brand new agent. So I went out instantly and I started hunting down mentors, people that I knew that were doing well. I ended up meeting an absolutely amazing individual. Him and his business partner, we joined forces. We went to a boutique brokerage and literally that's where insert cold calling. We got very creative, very strategic, and we started hunting down people we knew were distressed.
Yeah. Okay, so you start cold calling. So those are just probably running lists of people that are somehow default, whatever.
Yeah.
And you're just jamming, racking up listings.
Yes.
Listings then generate buyer calls, whatever it may be. Okay, so you became very successful then in the short sale and depressed market because it's kind of crazy. Like I've been doing this 10 years now, and I've seen so many different shifts. There's these agents that do very, very well in traditional markets.
Yes.
And then the market crashes, and they can't seem to make that adaptation.
Yeah.
Very difficult time adapting, and it's not the strongest that survive. It's those that adapt to change the quickest.
Absolutely.
Right? So you got to always be reinventing yourself. So then they can't reinvent themselves, and then you get these guys that maybe become or ladies that become these mega short sale REO agents. That goes away. I mean, we've all seen that, right? And then all of a sudden they're king of the world 1 year,
and they're gone.
2 years later, you're like,
yeah,
who is that? Right? They can't make that transition, but you've made the transition, right? So how do you go from short sales, all that stuff goes away? How do you start transitioning yourself to?
Well, let's back up actually, because short sales, if you were in that industry, the biggest thing that I can impress upon with anybody in the market, you have to think outside the box. A lot of times we think about, I'm an agent, I have to be professional, I have to be this motto. No, put yourself in that client's shoes. Because what happened with us is we actually got kicked in the ass doing cold calls because everybody else was calling. Then we started sending letters. Everybody else was starting to send letters. So we thought outside the box. What we did is we made packaging slips. And I would go out 5 a.m, 5 to 7. I would drive door to door on subdivisions that I wanted. And I would drop a package slip saying, you have a package, you missed a package. Now there's a fine line, you got to be careful because we ended up getting kind of dinged for misleading. But in my mind, if I was a consumer and I was distressed and I have a package and I missed it, I'd want it because it was my wine, it was my toys, it was whatever I ordered. That was the way I got clients to me. Because I know learning from the sheriff's office, I took that skill set of getting inside that mindset of a criminal and all that. I took that into the real estate market of I could break through that pride level, and if I could get them on the phone, I could get it.
So okay, you're dropping off this.
You learn to drive the business to you. You don't go, you know what I mean? That's the biggest thing you've got to do is you've got to have value and you've got to learn to drive the business to you.
Yeah, no, I dig it, dude. I love it, love it, love it. So you're doing these package slips. What is the process that they do from there?
This was the best idea ever. I thought so. The commissioner didn't think it was so great, so we worked it out. But essentially what I would do is if I knew you were distressed, I'd leave a slip. I mimicked the FedEx slips, but it's at our real estate brokerage, had all the thing on. But it said, hey, sorry, missed you. You need to call me for your package. Had a number. They called me because all I needed to do was talk to them. Once I got them on the phone, I was very honest, transparent. Look, I get where you're at. The beauty of it is I could relate. I was in that distress. I sold my own home. And then you create that bond. You're real, you're transparent, you're honest.
Yeah, I love it, dude. So there was no package. It was just you calling me.
Well, no. Technically, in my defense, I had a package. It was a short sale package.
Right.
I was going to tell you how to get out of your distressed property. So to me, it wasn't malicious. I legitimately had a package. It was no bullshit.
Yeah.
But if I told you that, your ego's going to build up in your pride, and you're not going to want to get it.
So then what did the commissioner, I mean, how did they crack down on you? What did they say?
We had a couple complaints because obviously there's going to be emotion that is involved when you have somebody that's distressed in the pride, and they may take it the wrong way. It wasn't anything bad. We didn't get in horrible trouble, but it was like, hey, what's this package? So once we explained it, it was okay. At some point they thought it was misleading public, which I get that. But technically I had a fucking package.
Right. Yeah. So did you get shut down, or did you keep moving forward with the strategy?
We moved forward.
Okay. Okay. So all that's going. You're helping sell these short sales.
Yeah.
Doing all of that. And then again, it comes back to the question of how do you transition? Because then I know a lot of agents that did very well in the short sale business.
Yes.
Because they existed. Mm-hmm. You know, I got here like where the studio is, Surprise, Arizona. You know, I was blanketing 50,000 door hangers a month, and we just had calls coming out. I mean,
yeah.
you have 100 short sale listings all the times, but then those dry up. Mm-hmm. You don't have them. How do you transition from that into the different market?
So the way that I feel that you transition to another market is you have to be engaged in your market, not only the market, the public. You have to see what's going on. You have to have your eyes open. Don't be so deep in the damn trenches that you get lost. So obviously with short sales, I was noticing, and I'm sure everybody else was, investors were coming in. So in my mind, that triggers while we're maintaining this business on short sales, we need to leverage and figure out how to get to these investors and start representing them for purchases. So it's always finding the next opportunity, and that's what we did. So we started basically hunting down hedge funds, hunting down investors, and representing them while we had our short sales going. So we were basically hopping to the next lily pad and trying to provide even more value to our clients.
Yeah.
Because if I have a cash buyer now there's a lot more that we can do.
Yeah.
So we basically would find where we were missing value, and we would replace it with something. We would try to fill that value.
Yep, dig it, love it. So, and I know right now you have a business partner.
Yes.
In your real estate business, anyway. What point did you get to? And you have a team. So, like, at what point do you get there where, okay, I'm an individual agent out there having all the success? At what point we're like, okay, I need to bring on a partner, start growing a team?
You can't do it alone. So my biggest thing is obviously now fast forward, I have 2 new babies. My marriage is failing at the point. Like we're losing our ass. I've got to figure something out. And to me, in my mindset, it was I had to pay a coach, but I didn't want to pay a coach. So for me, I had to go find actually I was lucky enough that somebody found me that is a massive person in the market that knows what the hell they're doing, that's invested in the coaching. And then I would basically pay it through commission. So I joined a mega team. That's how I did it. Okay. I joined a mega team, and then I surrounded myself with people that were doing what I wanted to do, so you could learn.
Which is really fascinating, dude, because most people join a team when they start out, and then they think they know all of this, and then they go out there and try to be successful on their own. Yeah. You were already successful on your own, and then you went and joined a team. Most people are like, oh, dude, I'm not giving up that commission. No. And you did a total opposite. Like you're the first person that I probably ever met that went that route, which is dope, right?
Yeah.
So, so you invested into that team, or your time in that commission, that team. You get the help that you want. So then, at what point do you decide to go start your own team?
When I couldn't get to the next level. When I couldn't get to the next level of where I wanted to go, I had to swallow my pride and swallow all that fear that you get in that panic and just jump in head first. Because at this point, I've already been to the bottom. I've climbed to the top, been to the bottom, climbed to the top. I can bank on my skill set. I know that no matter what kind of deep shit I get myself into, as long as I hustle and do the activity, I was going to get up. So I jumped head first. I literally left the brokerage. I left everything behind, went and joined another brokerage and started doing it on my own. Huge reality check, scary moment. Yeah. It was horrible, actually. It was probably the worst 90 days of my life.
Yeah. Well, that's so before we talk about that, because I'm really fascinated to hear about that transition. I know I get this question almost daily from people. Hey, I'm on this team, and I want to go off on my own. So I know a lot of our listeners really want to hear that story and are intrigued by it. At what point, though, did you know on the team that you're at your max capacity? I mean, how do you know that? How do you what were you experiencing at the time? You're like, okay, dude, I'm here. I'm not going to advance anymore. Now it's that time.
Even though I was on a team, I built my own brand. Okay. I wasn't, a lot of people didn't know I was on that team because I'd already built my brand. I knew how to lead gen. I knew how to connect with my clients and engage. I built a foundation. Don't ever leave a damn team if you don't have a foundation, because you're going to sink miserably. You don't have a skill set. You can't bank on it.
Yep.
If you don't know how to do your job and do it well without a team, don't leave.
Yep.
You're going to screw yourself because it's always a matter of time or money. And a lot of time, people don't have that time to give.
Right.
So you're going to lose a lot of money. You're going to lose your ass.
All right, dude. So you go through this transition, worst 90 days of your life.
That was the worst 90 days of my life ever. So I left the mega team. I separated. So now I'm on my own with all these crazy ass bills, getting a divorce, trying to build a real estate team.
Yeah.
That was insane because I have to go out there. I have to make good face. Nobody knows at the time I'm going through a divorce. Nobody knew.
Yeah.
Everybody found out probably 6 months after because that isn't who I am. That's not how you signify. You have to separate your personal bullshit, leave it at home, go out and do your damn job.
Yeah.
And so that's where it was. And I'd come home, be a single mom. That's a rough life.
So was that 90-day challenge more of just because I've got like everything, I'm just, every aspect of my life is in the whirlwind right now? Or was it the real estate transition, or was it just like, I'm just going through all this shit and it was just very difficult? You kept it together and you got through it and did it very well. But was it a combination of all of that just made that so rough?
I think it was just personal aspect, obviously, was just rebuilding and then going and banking your skill set while all that other shit is going on. That's a true testament if you're grounded or not.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're jumping into a real estate business and a lot of things that people don't realize, there's a lot that goes into it. There's a lot of damn money that goes into being on your own.
Yeah.
You got to generate your leads. You have to have your marketing. And if you don't have a staff to do it, you're still managing the paperwork on the back end while you're producing more clients. So you don't have that roller coaster.
Right.
Meanwhile, I'm chasing 2 kids and trying to man the house.
Yeah.
So I was like, what the hell did I do? And I'm not one for timing. Usually when I do something, it's
just do it.
I just dive in head first. I never think, and I just keep pushing forward.
Yep. Ready, fire, aim.
And then about a year later, I'm like, what the fuck just happened?
No, I dig it, dude. I dig it. So, okay. So then let's kind of fast forward to, you left that team. You've got your team now. What does your team look like right now? Like, what are some of the structures that you guys do?
So flash forward. Actually, we joined a team. We did expansion, and I'm going to be very honest. I didn't really like the team aspect so much, so we limited it down to select players. I'm going to be very honest, and I want to disappoint people. I hate running a fucking team.
Right.
In real estate, it's very hard to find people that will actually get up and do the goddamn work. Everybody preaches they want to participate, they want to see what you're doing, but at the end of the day, nobody wants to create the business. Nobody wants to do the damn work. And I got really, really, really fucking tired about calling everybody in the morning and trying to drum up your passion.
Right.
So for lack of better words, I actually did something everyone thought I was nuts last November. We burned the ships.
Yep.
We burned the ships and we strategically replaced everybody.
Okay.
We replaced everybody. Daniel Benarski and myself decided we were going to go on our own, and we're going to leverage key players in our business.
So Daniel is now your business partner.
Daniel is my business partner. We
so
have
he
Knock
wasn't
Knock
at the
Pros.
team though.
He
right?
was with the team.
So you guys were each with the team. You guys
we were
built
running
a
a team.
relationship, and then you decided to branch off on your own and start your own team.
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely, because I didn't have the creative control that I needed. I was put into a box, and honestly, I started waking up miserable. I hated it.
Yeah.
I couldn't do what I wanted to do. I couldn't get in the flow of things. So we ended up going and starting our own team. Again, another scary move, but I think that through those scary moves, that's where you really start to catapult and get through that next ceiling and grow. So we brought on a showing assistant. We have a back office staff, and literally we keep it to the people we need.
Right.
To get the business done.
And that's how you got to be focused. So many people out there, especially real estate agents, I want to start a team because I want it. I'm like, dude, you don't start a team until it's out of necessity. Like you have so much overflow coming in, you're pissing away money. You fill it, and you fill it with the person that you need in that area that you know where you have the biggest pain.
Do you know what my epiphany was? And I'll never forget. It was November 13th, 2014. I think it was, 2014. I woke up one day and I'm like, what the fuck have I been doing for the last 3 years? Because I had been coached and trained in the brokerage as I was to always model somebody else, to be somebody else, to build. So I fell in love with this idea of a mega team, build this mega team like the person I was that I was with. And at the end of the day, you have to ask yourself, is that really what you want? Because it's not what I want. So when I was trying to mimic somebody else and mimic other people around me, I could never run at 100% of my capacity and be me and do me.
Yeah.
And that's thing I think that a lot of people don't realize is when they're running out trying to be these other people, how the hell are you going to run at 100% being somebody else?
Yeah.
You're not.
Yeah.
So I was like, game over. I'm fucking done.
Yeah. Couldn't agree more, dude. So you decide to take on a business partner.
Yes.
Which it can be very challenging, right?
Especially with us. If you know us, we're yin and yang polar opposites.
Yeah. Yeah. When I've only met Daniel one time, so I don't know him like I know you, but But just, I mean, how do you, because, dude, you hear all these horror stories of partnerships not working out. Somebody's not pulling their weight, whatever. I mean, how do you know those other people out there that might be listening that are thinking of taking on a partnership? How do you pick that partner? How do you know it's the right fit? How did you align strengths, weaknesses? Like, what did you guys do to know and decide that you were a fit for each other?
So we worked and grinded together on different aspects of business, so we kind of got a feel of how each other works. And to be honest with you, I'm very real, very black and white. I don't always lace my words with sugar. We had a come to Jesus talk, and you have to have an expectation talk, and you cannot give them rainbow and butterflies. This is what I am. This is what I'll do. This is what I hate, and this is what I don't want. Now you go. We had a come to Jesus moment. I have his expectations. He has my expectations. We clearly communicate.
Yeah.
You have to communicate. If he pisses me off, I'm going to tell him right then and there and knock it out. Vice versa with him, so we don't have that bullshit going on and we keep it business.
Yeah.
And that's a big thing. And you can't be best friends with your partner.
Right.
Like, we do not agree on probably 60% of the shit in the world. We do not. We have completely different views, but we're able to utilize our skill sets. He has what I don't have and I have what he doesn't have. So it's a yin and yang, and that's what you need. You need a yin and yang.
Yep, dig it, love it, dude. So, okay, so let's talk about this setup then today. And we can talk a little about team setup, but what are some of the things too that you're doing today? Because you've transitioned very well. Now we're going from when you got in the market to where homes are sitting on the market for a year.
Yeah.
Now they don't sit on the market for like a damn hour. Right?
Isn't it awesome? It's so exciting.
It's gnarly, right? So, let's kind of talk about that. Let's talk about some of the different things that you're doing right now to create the success that you've had. Because a lot of people too right now have a very difficult time in sellers markets because they don't know how to get their offers accepted. Mm-hmm. They can't get sellers. There's no inventory. They can't get, so like what are some of the things that you're doing right now that are very effective? Some of the systems that you guys have?
So when we started Knock Knock Pros, our whole motto, call it what it is, but it's no fluff, no bluff,
what's the name?
No fluff, no bluff, no bullshit real estate.
Okay.
It's pull out. Our clients know that. It's in your face. It's not rude, but it's in your face. We pre-wash the hell. So we're on a seller initiative right now. We want 10 listings every month. That's what we're going for. 2 people, it's pretty good because we're going to build off of that. But the whole thing is when we have a meeting of the minds with the sellers, we don't feed them what they want to hear. And I was guilty of doing that at the beginning. This is what the market tells us your house is worth. You need to be real and you need to be fucking honest. There's a difference. You're either listing the house or you're selling the house. We're here to sell it. I'm not going to invest my time. I'm going to invest my money if we're not a good fit in business. Do not be desperate for business. Because the second you're desperate for business, you're going to get your ass kicked up and down the street by every client in town. You're going to hate your life.
Yeah.
And that's what I've decided. And be you and be real. I know that sometimes people think, oh my God, Anna's so loud. Anna's so edgy. I can't believe she just posted that picture. My clients are my Facebook friends. I let them into my world. Congratulations. There's a reason why. Because I'm not feeding them bullshit. What you see is what you get. And what's nice about that is I get trust right out of the gate.
Right.
So we're being real. We're being honest.
Yeah, and I think it's a cool time, especially in just the world. Like people, nobody's authentic. I mean, there's just all this smoke and mirrors and fluff. So I think people truly, truly honor and appreciate that authenticity. Mm-hmm. More
Absolutely.
so than ever.
Well, and a lot of times I'll get calls. Like 65% of our business is coming off of social media. 65%. That's huge.
Yeah.
It's huge for us. And it's no longer like we don't have to chase after it. We're just at top of mind. And we'll get calls all the time. I'll get a lady, I saw your video. You were talking about this and this, and I love it. I want you to come over and list my house. That's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
All because we're being there, we're being present, we're being real.
Yeah, you're doing a brilliant job at building that human connection, right? So, okay, 65% of your business comes from social media. What are you doing? Is it just, I'm going to go out there and do videos and personal posts and whatever? Are you guys also doing strategic Facebook ads? What does that look like?
So there's a whole science behind social media. And actually, I don't know if Gary Vee, I know he's now popular. We've been following him since he put out Crush It.
Okay.
There is an absolute science to social media. You cannot just get on there and start putting your shit out there. There's a social media platform. Facebook runs differently than Instagram, that runs differently from Twitter, that runs differently from Periscope. You have to know your platform, and have to lock down your engagement and post that content regularly to that platform. So basically, you can't take something from Facebook and post the same shit on Instagram, the same shit on Twitter, because they're all different platforms.
I'm totally fucked. I go through Instagram, I share the same shit.
No, don't do that. That's actually, I just talked to somebody. I actually just met with a lender who needed some marketing help. You've got to keep your shit authentic. And I mean, prime example, Facebook guidelines are your pixels on your photos have to be 800 by 600. If you have 800 by 600, you're going to get more engagement because there's a coding on Facebook where they will actually ghost your ads and ghost you from people's news feeds. It's knowing that back end of how it works, study it, know it, and that way you're going to get more engagement. Okay, so
65% of your business comes from social media, knowing the platforms, but you're not running ads. I mean, basically that's what you're telling me.
I am not running any ads.
Okay.
So any ads, and to me that's like, yes.
No, I love it. I hate the thought process out there of it takes money to make money. Mm-hmm. You know, we were just doing right before we did this. I shot a few episodes of Leveling Up, and we've been shooting here for like the last hour and a half. And one of the questions I got was about marketing, and I'm like, okay, most people with my team selling 50 plus homes a month, most realtors are spending like $500,000 a year. I'm like, we spend less than $36,000 a year.
Yeah,
we're like under 3 G's a month. Like in 2015, it's the cheapest way I've ever seen to do business. I mean, you don't have to spend any money right now to do business.
Hi, I'm a single mom of 2 kids. Both my kids go to private school. I have tuitions, I have bills, I have craziness. So for me to take their kids' tuition and put in a Facebook ad, if I'm not getting the return, does not make sense.
Yeah.
So I had to find a strategic way, an out-of-the-box way that works for me. Now, it's not free. Again, everything comes at time or money. I invest my time. That's part of my time block now.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much what I do.
But also to do that, like you made a comment, you're like, oh, dude, I had 2,000 people following me on Periscope. I'm like, oh shit, Aaron, we got like 170 following us. We got to up our game, dude.
Yeah.
So then you got to be super intentional because you got to have the audience.
Absolutely.
So what is your strategy to build your audience?
You have to engage. That was the number one thing that I learned from Gary Vee. You have to engage with them. You can't just you can't just comment, you got to share. You got to engage and know your audience. They have to know that you're there. You have to invest in them if they're going to invest with you, and that's what we do. I actively invest with everybody that's following me, supports me. I know their stories because I actually give a shit.
Yeah.
And because of that, they lift you up.
Right.
And they keep coming and coming because you're real, you're honest, you're transparent.
Where do you find most of it's coming from? Is it all the platforms? I mean, what do you feel the most powerful platform, at least for your real estate business? I know you have other businesses.
Twitter is amazing. Once you figure out Twitter, I was dead duck on Twitter for like the first year and a half because I didn't understand the goddamn concept of 140 characters. I like to talk.
Yeah.
140 characters is my first sentence. That does not work. But once you figure out how to engage, it's amazing. You've got to tap into other people's pools and other people's networks. And you do that through exposure.
Yeah.
You've got to engage with them. So that's that's a large thing. LinkedIn's been huge too, believe it or not. LinkedIn's awesome. A lot of times people think, well, I'm not going to post shit on there because they're selling real estate too and we're competing. Bullshit. Use it as exposure and leverage and get out there. Even with your peers, you want to be top of mind. Because if they can't do the job, I want them to call me to do it.
Yeah. Yeah. So there's so many different social media platforms. Now, are you a believer in being on all of them, or just like, hey, pick your 3 or 4 top that you like, that you enjoy, that you engage in, and just go all in on those, or kind of be everywhere?
Be present and know what's trending. Know which one you want to be. Again, the Gary Vee thing. You want to be where the eyeballs are. You want to be where the mass population is. So find out where people are and be involved in the trends. So to answer your question, I'm on 5 platforms constantly pumping out my stuff, and then I have 13 that were there.
Okay.
So, and that's my job. In the morning, that's my job. Sunday and Wednesday, I set up my content and I pop it out. So I have my content built, it's planned, it's engaged, and it's real time of what's going on.
So do you use a system like a buffer to schedule those then with that?
On some of the posts I do.
Okay.
On some of the posts I do. But I mix it. Because if something just happened, I've got to get involved in it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
So, and you got to be real.
Yep. No, I dig it, dude. I love it. So, outside of social media, is there anything else that you guys are doing? What's your favorite system right now? Outside of social media, what's your favorite technology or system that exists in real estate?
Dude, my business partner. To be honest with you, okay, so Daniel's background is 10 years IT. He is insane. He coded our website. He built it to the point where we know the age, the demographic, what time, what continent, what city. We know everything about our audience. Know your audience.
Right.
That's the largest thing. Know your audience. All of our traffic's organic. We're not paying for it.
Yep.
We're averaging 593 users every week because we know our audience and we're hitting our audience. You know, when we first started, we knew it was 45 to 54. Well, now it's gotten down to 33 to 44. So we have to market to that. We have to switch our marketing. We can't market to
So then do you tie that together with your social media strategy? Like, okay, so if our site is showing us that our ideal client or avatar is 35 to 45, then we got to go to the social media platforms at 35, 45. So like Snapchat's probably not part of our game right now.
So I am selling homes on Tinder and Snapchat right now.
Okay.
100%.
So you don't necessarily take that and then that doesn't
Never
correlate
list
what your
So
it
correlates with the content that we post. It correlates with the content we post. Obviously, if we have 50-year-olds on there, our content's going to be driven towards that. But now that we're more in the 33 to 44, our content's geared towards that. We're talking about topics that mean something to them, something that's going to give them value.
Okay.
And that's where we're hitting it.
Yep. Love it, dude. So is there anything else outside of so what was the other 35% of business come from?
I am still cold calling because deep down, I'm actually struggling with this at this point because I'm not being an asshole, but I'm really fucking good at it. That is all I have learned to do my business. So in doing it 3-4 years straight and learning with the best, you master that trade. But then it's a catch-22. Now I'm starting to get really bored because I can get on the phone, I can pound for an hour, and I can book out my entire weekend. But it's not fun.
Right.
It's not fun anymore. So yeah, I do cold call. I actually cold call. I used to cold call 9 to 12 every day. I'm cold calling like an hour and a half every day. I do call every day because I need that new business.
What time? What would you find to be the best time to call?
So there's all this theory. Just call.
Right.
Just call. Do the damn activity. Call. And I admit, like, I could be a little psycho on the phones. Like, if you hang up on me, I'm fucking calling you back.
Yeah.
Don't give up. I'm going to call you back. And then if you're pissed at me, I'm going to call you back and ask why you're pissed because my intent was not to ruin your day.
Right.
Keep pushing. Just push. Because my goal is when I get you on the phone, we're either going to do business together or you're not going to talk to me again.
Right.
And
if they're not going to do business with you,
and that's the one thing that I think people like. I did the whole theory of red apples, green apples, brown apples, A, B, C leads. Bullshit. You're working with A leads. That's it. Right. There's so many people out there work with A leads. Don't be desperate for that business.
So who are you calling, and give us a quick sample of your script?
So we're running a bunch of different stuff because I need variation. Otherwise, I get bored. And my scripts are cut and dry. They're basically Mike Ferry.
Okay.
But I don't go his words. It's me. It's Mike Ferry.
Okay. So,
and I basically steer emotion through logic. That's how I operate.
You're hitting expireds, fizz. I mean, what lists are you calling? I know you said it varies, but I mean, what?
So we'll hit expireds and FISBOs. Obviously, we have that Seekavoo, which we'll talk about. The Seekavoo has been a huge candidate for us doing the FISBO listings.
Okay.
Because it provides immense value, so we're pushing that as well. And we're not coming off Selby. We're coming off contribution.
Yep.
So, and I'm calling past clients, past investors. I mean, you always have got to tap into, if I could give you have at least 40 contacts a week of your old sphere that you contact. It will pay off.
Yep.
You'll get one sell a week out of that if you do it. From our conversion. Because right now, conversion rates, I know a lot of people talk about conversions. I mean, let's talk conversions. If you're doing your scripts daily, you should convert 1 out of 30 calls. So make your fucking calls.
Like when you say 1 out of 30, so that's not dials. You're saying 1 out of 30 conversations that you have with human beings.
Yeah. You need to gauge yourself 40 to 50 contacts a week. And it's not leaving voicemails. You have to have an active conversation. If you can do that, you will have a 6-figure business, no problem. So
then it's okay. I got 1 out of 10 people answer their phones. So then if I got to have 30 conversations every week, I've got to make at least 300 dials. I got to plan for at least 300 dials.
Absolutely.
You find that to hold true, that stat to hold true in your business too?
100%.
Okay.
Get on a damn dialer too. Get on a dialer. I know a lot of people don't want to pay for it. Get on a dialer.
What dialer do you use?
I am on Vulcan.
Okay. So
I love Vulcan because at this point, like I've been on all of them, Mojo, all of them. Vulcan I like because to me, Vulcan gives you the best data.
Yeah, hands down.
Hands down.
Right. So
it is
I mean,
the best investment.
A lot of people don't like Vulcan because it's what, like $2.25, $225?
It's completely worth it though. You get what you put in.
Yep. So a lot of people.
And also too, it makes me call because I'm not going to waste that money that I just paid for this damn dialer. Like I'm going to get on there and I'm going to call.
Yep. No, it becomes that accountability platform for sure, dude. So,
100%.
Okay, so you're calling expireds, you're calling FISBOs. When you call your past clients, because a lot of people struggle with this, right? They're like, oh, I don't want to call my past client. I don't want to be like that begging agent for referrals. what do you say when you call them up? I mean, are you asking for referrals? Are you just like, hey, what up? This is Anna. How you doing? How's the family? And they just give you referrals, or do you have a specific script that you use to get referrals?
Okay, so this comes back to the mindset, and maybe I'm a little warped, but I was told a long time ago by my mentor, and it was like a slap on my face, that you got to look at yourself as an absolute badass. They're lucky if they get to fucking talk to you. And that's my mindset. Like, I know that's really like conceited, but it's true. You are in a gift. They don't get to just talk to anybody. You are the expert. So when I call them, it's like, congratulations, dude. You got to talk to me. What's going on?
Yep.
Like, that's what it is. And if you set that mindset, it's exciting. And I want to know about them. So, I mean, prime example, I mean, let's put it to real life. Say you sold somebody with a pool. Obviously, it's July. Why don't you call them and ask them how that pool is paying off? Right. Dude, it's hot. I was outside. I'm sweating balls. I'm showing houses. I just want to call and see how that pool's going, because I'm thinking about your pool right now. You're engaging.
Yeah.
You need to engage.
So then you obviously have to have a good system to be able to track that. Because as many homes as you sell, because like, let's just say, and I don't know your exact numbers, but let's say you're selling 10 homes a month. So you're cracking all this up with all these new leads coming in.
Yeah.
Like, dude, you're not going to remember all this stuff.
No.
So you have to have a great system to track this stuff, to task yourself, to add notes. What are you using for that?
So contactuality, I love it. It gives you your top 50 bucket, and it also grades you. Keep your top 50 bucket rolling. So anybody that have a really good connection with clients, or, if you've been in the business for 3-4 years, you need to be calling everybody that you sold houses to in year 1 and 2, because they're ready to sell. We've had a 36% increase in the last 18 months. Why the hell aren't they doing it? Take advantage, get the equity buyout. You have to know your market. You have to know your contacts. Put them in a database. That was something I struggled with. Because keep in mind, I came from a volume game. So let's put that into perspective. When I was in real estate, I was in a volume game, and I openly admit, like, I was taught and trained on mega teams that they're a number, pop them through the system. They're a number, pop them through the system. So you become a hunter. Well, now we're in a traditional market. You need to be a farmer. You need to be cultivating those things. So you need to go back. And I mean, there was one transaction where, I mean, I sold him $1 million house, and I'll be honest, like, I talked to him maybe 5 times and he was pissed. Like, I didn't want to make that call. But I knew I was an asshole. So I called him, like, hey, it's your favorite asshole that neglected you like 3 years. So this is where I'm at now. Yeah. Games changed. I realize I've messed up. Thanks for going along that ride. Like, how are you doing? That will pan out because you're being real. You're being honest. And I'll be honest, that was a really shitty call.
Yeah. No, I dig it, dude. Because, I mean, what's worst case scenario? They say, nope, don't want to do business with you. Mm-hmm. But if you don't pick up that phone, they're never going to do business with you anyway. So
you're never going to know.
You're in a position where you have nothing to lose. Which I love. So you have that conversation. Dude, I'm sweating my ass off out here thinking about you in your pool. How's it going? Mm-hmm. Do you ask for referrals at that point? I mean, do you at any point in the conversation are you like, hey, thanks for supporting my business? If you ever know anybody, or do you just leave it just straight up the personal 100%
connection? I'm asking you for fucking business. I asked my mom for business.
Yeah, so how does that go,
asking everybody for business.
No, I love
the server, like anybody.
No, I love it, dude, because so many people, they don't want to be a salesperson. They get into real estate sales, but they don't want to be a salesy person. So just kind of walk me through that script.
So change your mind. That's what I always say, because this is funny. We used to coach on our team. You're not a fucking salesperson unless you want to be a salesperson. What if you could change it and think that you're coming from contribution? The information you're giving is contribution. It's not sales skills. It's in your mindset. You got to change your mindset. You're not a salesperson.
Yeah.
You're an instructor on your trade. You're just like a doctor. You're just like an attorney. It's that mindset, and you need to treat yourself as such. So to get back to you were saying, after I got off my soapbox, how do I transition that into clients?
So you have that conversation. What do you just straight up say? Hey, do you know anybody that needs to buy or sell right now?
Yeah, I'll tell him. I'll tell him. I'm like, look, I'm still selling real estate. I'm still hustling. I'm out there. Kids are doing good, but I want to take it to the next level. Obviously, I gave you good service. You know that. Who else could I give that good service to? And automatically, people are trained to tell you, well, I don't know. I don't stop there. Well, at work, at school, you don't hear anybody that wants a house. Like, did you hear about this going on? There's 0 down programs. The houses are this. Don't stop. Ask.
Yes. And even if they don't, at least you're planting that seed. You're training them to be like, okay, when these conversations happen, you're training them how to react in those conversations.
Well, then on the contrary, after that phone call, futures in your follow-up, you better be sending them a damn email and thanking them from their time.
Yeah.
You need to be appreciative that they gave you 5 minutes to talk. So send an email or send a card and tell them thank you for that time, because that follow-up is where it's at.
Now, with your clients, I mean, obviously, they become a client. You're really aggressive at getting them into your social media world, right? So they're seeing your stuff all the time. I mean, you're posting, 10, 15 times a day on Facebook, right? So you're always blowing up the feed. And what people don't realize is they're not like realtors have thousands of friends. They have 200 friends, so they're going to see all your content that you're pushing out. Do you do other things? I mean, do you have other touches that you do, whether it's emails, cards, send out cards, or is it literally, I'm just going to do phone calls, get in my social media world, and that's how I stay in touch with past clients?
So I send them cards. I'm engaged. Like, I have a client that has a baby shower that's coming out on Saturday. You bet your ass I'm going to go. Like, I'm involved. Once they're in my world, they're in my world. It's not just a client. You're in my world. Like, we have a client now that, bless his heart, his wife has Alzheimer's. And he was saying, hey, I need help pledging money for her walk in November. You bet your sweet ass I'm going to be walking there with him. Yeah. Because I'm here. You're a client for life when you're getting in our little circle. And they know that going in. Like, we're here to support you. You're here to support us. Yep. And I think that that's amazing. Yep. So yeah, I do. I send cards. I send emails. It's funny because the other day I was out at a restaurant and there was this like bowl of soup that one of my clients absolutely loves. So I shot a picture. I'm like, haha, are you jealous? Like, just keeping them engaged, you know, because they were on my mind and I'm going to let them know. Yeah, and I think it's important for everybody. And I'm sure everybody watching this or listening can see how intentional you are, because you're always, then every time we're interacting, you're like, okay, let me see what their favorite soup is. Like, you're asking those questions so you know how to do this. So getting intentional about everything that you're doing. And no, you're not perfect and you're going to make mistakes. I don't know if you saw the post I did last night, like a jackass. My client just got in town and I was super excited. I'm like, fuck yes, let's go get you a house. You're in town, because he's never in town. 9 o'clock at night, I suffer from fat finger syndrome. And I'm like, awesome, I'm going to comb for hoes in the AM. I was supposed to say homes. But you gotta own that. Like, know that you're not gonna be perfect. Don't freak out. I was like, hey, full service. But it's just being that real person, because he could have been like, what the fuck, you know?
That's badass. I dig it. All right, dude. So let's start transitioning into, because one thing that I just love watching you and watching your growth is, you know, you get in this business. Boom, you know, I mean, you just take the bull by the horns, you own it, right? You're not waiting for shit to come to you, you're owning it. You've created a massive business in a very short period of time, and probably the toughest real estate traction, depression, whatever you want to call it, that we've seen. You built this epic business. But now you're like, okay, I've got all these skill sets, but I'm connecting the dots with other things that this industry needs and other businesses as well. And you're out there creating other products, other businesses, and you know, creating other revenue streams for yourself and other opportunities. So let's start transitioning into, you know, you've got a business called Seek a View. Seek a View. So Seek a View, right? So, okay. So how does this come about? What is Seek a View? And let's just
roll with it. Okay. So obviously we use real estate. I love real estate to an extent, but it's a vehicle to get me elsewhere. So basically Daniel and I last year were sitting down, and one day, like literally, it was Christmas break, so it was almost a year and a half ago. We sat down and wrote everything that we hated about real estate. We wrote down a list. We fucking hate this. We hate this. We hate this. We hate this. Now, how do we fix it? Because I'm not going to go pay to do it. Everybody knows, like, I'll admit, like, I don't want to spend my money. So I'm going to figure out how to develop something to provide the value. The things that I hated in real estate were, I hate putting you in the fucking car, driving 40 minutes in the goddamn heat. We're talking the entire time. I walk in the house, in 30 seconds, the house fucking sucks because the pictures were bullshit.
Right.
That sucks. I don't like going and showing unqualified clients. I don't like bugging my sellers with people that are looky-loos. So for us, it was like, how the hell do we get into the house and properly display it? And that's where Seek a View was born. Obviously, Daniel comes from an IT background. I come from interior design. So I know AutoCAD. He knows the coding. And we bought the imaging, recoded it, and that's Seek a View. So basically what Seek a View is, it's Google Street Maps in your home. You can physically walk the 3D model. This has been huge. It's been huge for our business. We spent the last year building it. We've used it on our business from January to July. It's been insane. We don't have MLS credit. You can look me up in MLS. You're probably not going to find shit this year. The reason why is 70% of our stuff is selling on pre-list. Yeah. We're double ending half of that. It's a no fucking brainer. It's a win-win.
So walk us through, and I think it's brilliant. You know, how I mean, that's just where it's going to go. It's a virtual reality game.
Absolutely.
You know, we were just showing you, Aaron was showing you the new Google box, right? Where like, so he's like, oh, dude, check this app out. Do this new Google boxes. You put your mind up to it. And I'm touring the Eiffel Tower, you know, through a box sitting here in Arizona, you know, right? Yeah. So, I mean, that's just the world that we're moving to, and you guys are way ahead of the curve on that. So
we're finding that out the hard way too.
Yeah. So what exactly does it do? How do agents benefit from it? How do clients benefit?
So let's walk it down, because I that's the number one question. So I'm really good in my brain. I know what's going on, but I'm really bad at portraying it. So the way I'm going to break it down basically is, so you're an agent. Let's talk about you're working with buyers. What if you could give them links to all the tours or bring them into your office and walk the goddamn floor plan, know where the room relations are, see if we even have a built-in overlay where they can drop their damn furniture in to see if it's going to fit in the room. See if it's a good candidate. Out of those 20, narrow it down to the 5 that you know it's a good candidate. Now you've streamlined your sale and search process to same day. You're getting the clients in the office, they're getting qualified, you're going to get them under contract. Now that's turnover.
Yep.
That's huge. Now, how do we use it for sellers? Sellers has been beautiful. Sellers are busy. We're in a traditional market. A lot of times sellers don't want to get bugged. They don't want to get bugged all the time. You hear it all the time. I don't want a lockbox. I don't want a sign. I don't want people coming in all the time. Well, guess what? You don't have to. Because not only, here's a prime example. We had 78th Street. It's a remodel in Scottsdale. We imaged this house. This woman works 2 full-time jobs. Please believe we don't have access to get into this damn house. But we're going to sell it on a pre-market. We put it out through our funnel in the masses. We have 700 showings in the first 3 days. Please tell me as an agent where you're getting 700 showings in a day.
Yeah.
They're physically walking the damn property. The result is we posted on Wednesday. On Friday, we had 3 formal showings, 2 offers, sold it.
Yep.
Done. We're streamlining the process, getting away all the bullshit. Now, we've teamed up with builders. We're actually working with a lot of builders in town where we're imaging all their product. What's huge for them is now homeowners, they don't have to envision what the product looks like. They can walk through and they can buy it on pre-construction, so it's closed to sale, you're done. They're able to sell out their lots, their subdivisions, done. We use it for our investors because our investors have rental properties. So if you have tenants in place, you and I both know it's a bitch to try to get in there with tenants to show it. So now you got this house that you've got to have your cap, you've got to have your return, but you got to fill that vacancy. So what if you imaged that house and you put it on the rental market 60 to 90 days out before that guy's out, and you replace the tenancy? You have automatic turnover.
Yeah. So how do you get, so you mentioned, okay, if I bring a buyer in my office right now and we look up 20 properties, we want to narrow it down to their 5, but you haven't went there and imaged the properties. I mean, how do those...
We're building content, and that's the biggest thing that you were saying. So I think that Daniel and I, a couple weeks ago, we just got slapped in the face because we launched this. We're excited. We're pumped. But it's that being ahead of the curve and trying to get the masses to understand that this is a tool you can use. Because you would agree, a lot of the market, probably a good 80% of the agents are very traditional. They believe they've got to get them in the house, they've got to get them in the car, they got to go show them, and they feel like Zillow is going to cut them out, and it's not. You got to understand it's a tool you can use. So our goal right now is we're in a rat race to get as much content as possible, because our goal isn't to just do the tours. Our goal is to be the 3D website. You come for tours.
Yep.
That's where we're coming in.
So really, to get, if I want all my listings on there for other agents to be able to experience this, I would have to go in there and shoot it a certain way. We
image it for you. We own the staff. We own the cameras. We own everything. Tours start at $150. You get your own personal page. We do your initial push for marketing, and we have $500,000 in our funnel right now.
That's nuts, dude. So I should say obviously. I'm going to assume that's Arizona specific for now.
We just picked up an account in Alaska, Florida, and California.
Damn, dude.
Yeah, so we're going everywhere.
Yep.
That's the goal. And we're not just doing homes now. I mean, I was sharing with you, we just locked in an arena. We're doing an arena now. We locked in a house. We're doing 80 houseboats for corporate events. So now when you're scheduling your corporate event, you don't have to look at the pictures. You can actually walk the boat and figure out where you're going to place your shit. Yeah, it's about simplifying the process. And I mean, our goal, everybody's like, why Seekavoo? Our goal is in the next 18 to 24 months, have enough content. We want to open it like an Apple store. We want to make it safe. I know as a female getting in a car, it gets kind of scary showing houses. Well, what if you could meet them at our box is what we'll call it, for lack of better words. Meet them at the box, use our imaging product, walk through the houses, then you get them in the car and go show. One-stop shop, done.
Yeah, no, it's brilliant, dude. I mean, it's absolutely brilliant. And it's not even just as a realtor saying, I want to save the time. I think that's where a lot of realtors go wrong, is they don't want to invest their time per se.
Yeah.
Dude, clients don't want to invest their time either. They're busy as shit. They don't want to take the time. So it's that massive win-win.
I have a client right now with 5 kids. You think she wants to load them in a car every weekend to go buy a house? No, she doesn't, And that's the thing I want to impress upon, though. It's not the fact that we have the imaging, because there's other people that are doing the imaging. The thing that we have that people do not have, and I'll go toe-to-toe with anybody, is we have not only the fucking platform, I've got a coding genius. Everything's in-house.
Right.
We code it. We built it. We have the platform. And there's no product I know right now where you not only get the tour, You get direct messaging, you get lead capture, and you get that exposure. 90% of the market is online researching for homes. You can be at the front of the line right now if you have that web presence.
So it literally would be like, so when you say the lead capture, okay, text here for the tour, then they get the text of the tour to their phone, you capture that, get that to
It gets, so we have lead capture built out on two different spots on that page, and we get active engagement. Like I was saying, on this specific site, we have 593 users signing up every week. Our average time on that site for them is 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
You have 2.5 hours to engage and contact them. They're pinging you. And another thing that I can't wait for Zillow to come knock on my door and say, what the hell are you doing? We're stripping the leads from Zillow, Trulia, Redfin, all those places. Ha ha. You know how? Because we're embedding our goddamn tour into the Zillow platform. So now when a homeowner is out there shopping, they click on our tour, it takes them out of Zillow and takes them into your fucking platform.
Yeah.
You paid $150 for that. Come on.
Yeah, because there's other technology, what's it like, Matterport or whatever, but you got to buy this damn camera, you got to try to figure it out, it's a
and then you got to code it. And I'm going to be honest, we've seen a lot of tours out there, and it's not to bash anybody. There is a science to doing it. And what's nice is we went under a mentorship directly with Matterport. So we're working with them. We get their technology, we get their bugs, we get their mentorship, we get walk through. So our tours are polished.
Yeah.
And we've worked with them to auto embed the AutoCAD. Like I said, you can drop your furniture in there. You can remove walls. We have an architect right now using our imaging to basically remodel his entire house before he buys it.
Yeah, that's crazy, dude. So it's $150.
It starts at $150. It goes based off square footage. It's cut and dry. It's $150 up to 2,000 square feet. $50 for every 1,000. It's ridiculously cost effective.
Yeah.
Because again, our goal isn't to hustle and make money off the tours. We want to build the content, because the more content we get, the more traffic we're going to get. It's going to be better for you. It's going to be better for us.
Yeah. Now, does that, because what would professional photos cost anyway? They're $150 anyway.
$150. It's a thing. And why the hell are you giving them? And this is the thing. You're like, I get it because I was there. You want to showcase the property the best, but you're almost selling them a goddamn lie.
Right.
They don't know where the rooms are. And the beauty is, too, get your vendor buy-in. We have it built right now, and it's CFPB approved, is you can get the lender to buy in with you. They get half the page, you get half the page, and that cuts your cost. Be smart about it. Leverage.
So what's, so you're in Alaska, Florida, Arizona, and
California.
California. So where do people go to learn more about this? What's the name of the website? Where do they go to learn more about it?
www.seekavu.com. So it's SEEKAVU.com.
All right, awesome.
And it's all over. You can find us on Facebook.
Yeah, and everybody go check it out anyway, because it'll probably be in if it's not in your state yet, it'll probably be in your state soon, right?
It's going to come. And it's funny, because we just talked to an agent yesterday. He's like, I'm not using that shit. I'm like, well, that's fine, because you're going to call me in a year and you're going to have to use it. We're going down that route. So get on the bandwagon now, or I'll see you in a year.
Right. Yep. Love it, love it, love it. And it's all about being different. If you're going to go on a listing appointment against 3 other people, what are you going to tell us? How are you going to be different? What are you going to do to stand out?
Show them that tour.
So for $150, you can go knock down a $9,000 commission on a listing, right? So not that it's not effective, it absolutely is, but it's going to help you get those listings as well. All right, dude. So
then I got that folk you too. I'm sure.
Yeah, well, that's what I was just gonna ask about. So I'm like, it says fuck you, folk you, folk. Like I'm like, what is this? What? Because I see on Facebook constantly, and I'm not quite sure what it is. I'm like seeing this. I'm like, I don't know.
I know.
At one point, I clicked on the link, and it was something epic is being created, and so let's elaborate. What is it? Like, what do you do? What is it?
That is a learning process. Okay, so folk you, I get a lot of interaction on Facebook, and it's no secret. I posted it today. Facebook is pushing back on me on my content. I'm getting too many video shares, getting too many videos. They want me to do promotional paid, promotional this. I want a website where everybody can go to get a wake up call. My whole goal at the end of the day, my goal isn't this. All these different businesses. I would love to sit on my ass at home and be your last call. I want to basically do the suicide awareness calls. If you're thinking about jumping off the bridge, this and that, I want to be that call and talk you off the ledge. I've been volunteering my time. I've been doing it for 6 months. I fucking love it. So this site is a way for me to reach the masses. To folk, if you look it up in Urban Dictionary, it means you're lying to yourself. You're being somebody that you're not. And I think a lot of times people are conditioned in society to believe a certain thing, and they're not being true to themselves. So they get stuck in their head, they get stuck in this tornado, and they fucking hate life. So this website is almost a relation point. It's a vlog. It's an open vlog, but it's a relation point, and it's a way for me to drop a mic and drop a light into other people. These interviews are insane. I'm literally in a strip club interviewing strippers. It's all about truth, transparency, and taboo. A lot of people are like, oh, those strippers are nothing but a piece of meat. Bullshit. Like, I was shocked as shit when we sat down and found out there's a mom there. She's got 3 kids. She's putting herself through med school. Like, you hear, like, the other side of it. And a lot of times people can't get past that face level and get past to find out what's going on. You know, we interviewed, this was the scary, because I'm a germaphobe. We interviewed homeless on the street, and I'm sitting down on a sidewalk talking to these guys. There was a CEO of the company that lost it fucking all because his wife had a pill addiction, and now he's living on the goddamn streets.
Right.
To hear that story is insane.
Yeah.
And it's almost like a relation point.
So you're doing these interviews, just really interviewing people, just getting deep into challenges in life. Is there other engagement? So you say, okay, I'm taking these calls. It is because that's your ultimate goal is to get there. So then are people watching this and then they're able to comment and reach out to you? You're able to interact with you. How does that process work?
So for like the calling, that happened by fluke. It happened actually last year. I had an individual reach out to me and it literally sent me a picture of a row of pills and was like, I can't fucking hang anymore. I was like, that's cool. Call me because I know a quicker way to go. Because I didn't want to see that people, them off themselves. So called, we talked it through, we broke through, we had a huge breakthrough. And to me, I was like, I have never felt so alive. This is fucking awesome. I had no hinges, hiccups. This is what I want to do. So over time, this website, I can't tell you, everybody's like, what is it? What is it? It's going to grow. It's going to build. It's going to be epic. And it's going to lead me to my end game where I can reach the masses. I'm not here to save anybody. I don't want to be a life coach, but I want people to wake the fuck up.
Right.
And I couldn't use fuckyou.com because I don't want to get caught up in the SEO of porn. That's what I found out.
Yeah,
so
don't want to get caught up in the SEO of porn, but we're still interviewing strippers.
Yeah, we're still interviewing strippers. Honestly, like that was huge.
Yeah, no, that's pretty cool, dude. Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, we're all human beings. We're all just out there trying to. I mean, we got to do what we got to do to fucking survive. And people may have a judgment on them, but I'm like, well, how's that? Why would I judge them more than if you're serving McDonald's hamburgers that are killing more human beings?
Oh Lord,
you know, whatever it may be. It's like let's step out of judgment here, and just step into curiosity, right? So, what drove you to get involved with this? Have you had parts in your life where you've been depressed, where you thought about maybe committing suicide? Like what?
100%. So bombs dropped. Obviously, very recently, last like year and a half, I've been opening up kind of like, hey guys, while you guys thought I was doing all this epic shit and creating all these businesses, this is a shitstorm I was dealing with behind closed doors. I went into a marriage and it failed miserably. My big aha in that whole thing was I lost a baby at 5 months. I don't know if you saw, I posted a video about it. And through being transparent, I'm growing. I was carrying a baby 5 months, knee deep in hedge fund deals, previewing probably 70 properties a day. It was insane. 11 o'clock at night, water breaks, and I go into pre-labor, basically. I deliver a baby at 5 months. They can't save her. I flatline, bleed to death. Blood transfusion. And it was funny because I actually posted something today about it, is I was looking around trying to make sense of all this fucking chaos that was going on. It was actually 27 months ago. All this chaos that was going on, and the only thing I could see was this little sign that said, a year from now you wish you would have started. That was the biggest fucking slap in my face. So I woke up and I was like, done. Game over. I think a lot of times when we're raised, we let all that outside chatter in and we become conditioned. And I saw that happen to me, and you're going to be consumed. So going through that and then the divorce, there was times I was just alone. I was at an event. I was about a year and a half ago. Being alone, a lot of people don't know. Yeah, you make a lot of money in real estate, but I learned the hard way. You spend a lot of fucking money in real estate. I admit I made 60 grand 1 month and I blew all of it. Right. So what happens? I come home now and I'm consumed in all this debt and my electric's off, my water's off, and I got to lie to my toddlers and figure out in a week when escrows take 30 days to close, how the fuck I'm going to make it work. Yeah. So to me, it was like that knows 90 days of hell. That was it. It was a realization like, dude, I'm killing myself here. And if I could figure out a way for people to understand they got to peel back those layers and stop listening to the bullshit and buying into the bullshit and realize the problem is them, it'd be huge. Yeah, I mean, we're really in that society today of victims.
Yeah. Oh, well, there's a pill for everything. And, don't be stressed. Or, we kind of started hitting this before we got in the show. Be comfortable in your own skin. Da, 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 da.
Oh my God. So do you want to dive in? Yeah, let's dive in. Okay. So 2 things.
It's going to get probably a little gnarly, you guys.
So I'm just going to give you full censorship now that this is my opinion. You don't have to feel this way, but I think it's a bunch of bullshit that I see going on, especially on social media. The 2 things that are fucking pissing me off is people saying, oh my God, you have to wear makeup and you have to feel like you're beautiful. And the magazines are telling you this, magazines are telling you that. Magazines are not telling you shit, jackass. You do have a certain level that you need to get up, you need to level up, and you need to look good and feel good. No one's telling you to do that. Have self-awareness. And this leads right into, and I hate to name drop, but I'm going to say it and you don't have to bleep it. The Katie Wilcox thing is really fucking pissing me off.
Which is what? So like a dude like me that lives in a bubble that has no idea who that is.
Okay, I lived in a bubble too, and I didn't know what it was. But I saw, a group of women are running around town right now saying healthy is the new skinny. Wake the fuck up. So I watched her video, and this is what I've decided on that. Her video, I get the story, and I get a lot of people can relate to that. She is basically saying, I grew up a happy kid. I was eating, candy, this and that. And then at certain point, society told me it was not okay to be me because I was overweight. Are you fucking kidding me, dude? That's on you.
Right.
You need to have self-awareness, and you need to be grounded, and you need to understand who you are and understand nobody can tell you or should tell you what to be and what to do. And you need to learn to push back on that. I know it's easier said than done, but come on. Healthy is the new skinny is the biggest bullshit claim I've ever heard. Yes, her website's good. I'm not going to take it away. She has amazing content, amazing motivation, but it goes into that shaming sense. The people here are saying healthy is the new skinny. Stop shaming people for being fat. But the thing is if you're going to say healthy is the new skinny, you just shame skinny people.
Right.
What the fuck are you doing, dude?
Right.
Like, and I can say, honestly, I feel I'm a qualified candidate. I was ultra fucking skinny growing up in high school. Joke's on me. My name was Anna. They used to call me anorexia.
Right. Yeah.
I used to get hated on for being skinny, and there's nothing I could do to fucking gain weight. And then I've been horribly overweight. 27 months ago, horribly overweight. I lost 50 pounds in 90 days. And now you're going to shame me and be pissed that I did that? It's not about what people think. It's about what you think.
Yeah, and everybody wants to, there's a brilliant book out there called The Believing Brain, and it really talks about how we back up our thought. I mean, any thought process we want to have, we're going to figure out a way to justify that. And okay, I'm not here to judge anybody, but the fact of the matter is 78,000 Americans die a year of heart disease. And it 100% is because of the weight problem. You're
pushing toxins in your goddamn body, and then you're blaming McDonald's for doing it.
Right. So when people are like, oh, it's okay to just be you. Dude, no, it's not. Not okay, be you, but in a weight standpoint of, oh, it's okay to be you, it's okay to be overweight. Well, okay, if we're talking to self-confidence, you can figure that out on your own, but it's not okay. Like, you are killing yourself. Mm-hmm. You're not leading by example to your kids. Because if you see somebody that's, maybe overweight, and I can kind of talk about this because I used to be morbidly obese myself.
High five.
But I lost 118 pounds and went through that journey myself. But typically, if I see somebody that's obese like I was, right, and they go into a restaurant, what follows them? Their kids that are also obese. Mm-hmm. And child obesity just keeps rising. It's like, guys, you have no idea. Every single minute of every single day, an American dies of heart disease. And in women, it's more so than men. 7 times the amount of women, heart disease kills 7 times the amount of women than breast cancer. We see all this breast cancer awareness, but we see nothing
about that. Well, what's so funny too? Okay, so Daniel, bless his heart, he always likes, Anna, you can't touch on politics or religion. And he never said anything about weight. So I've posted things on weight. I have never had such a witch hunt. Like, how fucking dare you? My wife's obese and you're attacking her. Dude, you're fucking failing her. Not to be a dick, and she's failing herself. I understand there's medical conditions. I have family that has medical conditions. But again, handle your medical conditions. Work with your doctor. Get it figured out. Do it. Because a lot of times these people that are preaching, this is the thing that I'm seeing, especially in women, that they're like, oh my God, it's okay to be curvy. It's okay. I'm not saying it's not okay to be curvy. Be your healthy. But if you're going to tell me right now that it's okay to be curvy, but yet you don't want to wear a dress, you don't want to wear a swimsuit because you don't feel comfortable, you're not where you need to be. My biggest aha was I didn't think I was fat, but I was 50 pounds overweight. And my aha was my kids wanted to run down to the stop sign. I can't even fucking run down to a stop sign. Something's got to change.
Right.
You owe it to yourself to be healthy. It's not about a size. It's not about a figure. It's not about the weight on the scale. It really comes down to your body fat percentage.
Yeah. And just feeling confident and good in your own skin.
Being in your own groove. And nobody should tell you that. And that's the one thing that I don't know why everybody's on this media shame right now where the magazines are telling you to be skinny and they're only portraying that. You decide what you're going to basically consume. And you've got to realize that there's a buffer to that.
And I think people just don't.
Stop being a victim.
Right. And I don't think people understand projection. Like if I get pissed off that I hear something like that, or somebody's listening to this interview right now and they're pissed off at you and me for talking about this, well, deep down, all they're doing is projecting their own pissed offness about themselves. Oh, I'm actually pissed off because that stroke an emotional chord is something that I'm pissed off at myself with, and they got to go and dig deep and deal with that.
Do you know my coach told me this? Because I struggled. About 3 years ago when I started on this, like, let's be transparent, I'm going to tell you how it is. I got a lot of people that don't fucking like me.
Right.
And they'll say, how dare you? And I used to like shut down like, oh shit. And my coach is like, no, high fucking five. You resonated within them. If you have a feeling, like if I'm telling you it's not okay to be fat and you're fucking pissed at me, I want you to stop right now. I want you to take a deep breath and you find out why you're pissed. Why the fuck are you pissed? Because 9 times out of 10, you're pissed at yourself. Yeah. And I was able to have the power to reach down in you and pull that out. So now you have a decision. You could be a cynical bastard and never grow, or you could take that feeling and develop it and understand it and use it to grow.
Right. Yep. Do the work on yourself. Love it. Mm-hmm. Okay. So, so I thought you were interrupting us for. Well, we're mirror catting and Periscope, and our executive producer stood up, so I didn't know if he was interrupted for a question there, or what was going on. Okay, so but then we have because a lot of it is okay. You've got that element of it, but then two. So we got to ingest certain things in our body, take care of ourselves, be comfortable there. But what do you do? Because you've been through a lot. You've been uber successful, whether maybe you had a low, but you were uber successful overcoming that low. Yeah. What are some of the things that you do for your mindset, to keep your mind sharp, for goal setting? Because the average, so the stats right now is the average human being hears and sees 25,000 negative things a day and only 2,000 positive, right? So we have all this negativity just spit and spewed on us all day. You got these haters attacking you all day. Like, what do you do personally to stay pumped up, to stay motivated, to keep pushing?
I'm tapped in and I surround myself with a select group of people. They know my mission, they know my motive, they believe in me. And they remind me when I start to doubt myself. And so, I mean, like I have a routine. In the morning, I wake my body up. There's a whole thing. I believe in command theory. And I have a series of, I watch a certain amount of videos and I read a certain amount of things to remind me of my purpose, to taproot me, to get me sparked, to get me going. It has taken 2, maybe 3 years to tune out chatter. That's something you have to teach yourself. And the biggest thing you have to teach yourself is not to get stuck in your fucking head. Your head is a scary place. You can just basically consume yourself. You can destroy yourself. So it's building that mindset and staying focused on what you want, your goals. If you go into my office, it's clear what I want. It's clear what I want. And I know what my actions are. And I basically have mapped out what I need to do and I fucking do it. I have 2 kids that remind me every day. Those are the hugest things. If you have kids, share it with them. My 6-year-old is the biggest asshole accountability coach in town. Yeah. He really is.
There's no hiding with kids. They call you out on everything.
All day. He'll tell me, why didn't you go to the gym today? You said you were going to go to the gym today and we haven't gone. Why aren't you? Involve them because they're huge. They're huge.
Yeah, so I mean, literally, it boils down to I'm inputting the right information in my mind every single day.
Absolutely, you have to choose what you're going to harvest. You have to choose what you're going to harvest. I know there's all this controversy going around and all this news and media. I'll be honest, I don't watch news. Right. I get my news off of Twitter.
Right.
So if it's not Twitter worthy, I probably have no idea what the fuck's going on out there. But I'm okay with that. I also don't pay attention to people. I don't pay attention to what my competitors are doing. I don't pay attention to what the girls down the street are talking about. It's not I don't give a shit. It's going to redirect my purpose if I start getting involved in that. I am on a path. I want to go straight, and I can't consume all this other bullshit if I'm going to walk down that path. Yep. And you have to not be afraid to be alone. Darren Hardy said it best. When you're on your way to a top or you're on your way to your purpose, it gets damn lonely. And it does for a reason. You got to stay going focused, and people are going to get on and off your train at any given time. Don't stop to pick them up. Just keep fucking going.
Right.
They'll be there in the end to celebrate if they're worth it. Yep. And I think that's the biggest thing. People are people pleasers.
Well, and I think too, you say, okay, get out of your own head. If you're sitting there thinking too much, right, that means you're not taking enough action. Because if you're taking so much action, you're so busy. It's like, I want to be so busy around like shit. Like I have to get lightheaded to remember I haven't eaten for 18 hours. Right?
Yeah,
like,
I celebrate when I get to take a fucking shower. Yeah. I'm like, hell yes, I got a shower today.
Yeah, I love it, dude. So, and then that activity action breeds a more motivation when it comes to that. So, What's your philosophy on coaches? I mean, do you have a coach now? You talked about you had a coach. I was like, oh, high five them, right? Have you always had coaches? Do you currently have a coach? I mean, what's your philosophy?
I did not believe in coaches or investing in it up until about 5 years ago. I got a coach. The first lesson she ever taught me was command theory. Absolutely changed my fucking life. You're an idiot. And I'm sorry to be mean. You're an idiot and you're cheating yourself if you're not going to invest in a mentor or coach and get pushed. You can't get there by yourself because, again, you get stuck in your head. You don't even have to invest. Get an accountability partner, whatever it is. Right now, I mean, we were talking, and I'll put it out there. My biggest problem is right now is I'm looking for a different kind of mentor, which I thank you for kind of outlining what I need in a sense that I do need somebody to strategize with me. I don't need the health. I don't need the wellness. I don't need the coaching of motivation. I have all these building blocks and I need to put them together. So it's finding the right coach.
Yeah, and I think both you and I, because we've had so many coaches. I mean, I probably spent, $300-400 grand now in the last decade on different coaches and conferences and experiences. And 90% of it's been junk. But the junk ones were almost better than the good ones because it inspires you on a whole nother level. Like, dude, this charlatan just did that, made that. Like, I could do this and be more impactful with that. What do you think? A lot of our listeners are always looking for coaches and mentors. Through your experience of 5 years of coaching, what do you think people need to really identify and look with? Because you get a lot of coaches that kind of talked about this before, like they bring the heat, they bring the motivation, and it sounds
they're dead
badass
by Monday.
Yeah, but it's like, okay, like you can get all warm and fuzzy, but at some point we need some strategy, we need some tactical stuff, you need some implementation. It's got to be kind of that full round. What are some of the things that you found? Okay, questions that maybe you ask them, or things that you really look for to get very specific. Because people are like, oh, I need a coach because I think I need a coach, so I'm going to hire a coach.
Yeah.
But they don't know why they're hiring them. They don't know the questions to ask. So, like, how do you interview a coach, Dave? How would you go through the process?
You have to get real with yourself before you get with a coach. You have to find out where you're fucking up in your life, whether it's your relationships, whether it's your health, whether it's your business. And you have to find out where you're fucking up. Honestly, that's where you have to. A lot of people pay for these coaches and their accountability. You don't necessarily always need that. You can have a friend give you the accountability. Find out where you're messing up, whether it's health, whether it's in your relationships, whether it's in your business, and you need to seek an expert in that trade. And not only an expert in that trade, they have to have it proven that they're doing that. Because a lot of times, we get smoke and mirrors and we get bullshit stories. Oh, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, I'm doing this. And they're going to their friend's sofa to go sleep.
Right.
They're not doing the work. You have to have somebody that's doing the damn work. And it's a two-part. I also believe that, yes, you need a coach as a mentor, but something I learned along my path, along my way, my largest growth spurts were through generosity and contribution. Contribute to the masses. Contribute what you learn. And that's something, again, in real estate that people don't do. They're like, they hold these little nuggets and they're going to hide them. Nobody's going to do it like you, jackass. Share what you know. And if you put it out there, you're going to get it back.
Yeah, there's no secrets, dude.
There are absolutely no secrets.
Yeah, that scarcity mindset, but most have it, but that's okay, right? So they're just hurting themselves. So, okay, so then you talked about self-development. What does your daily self-development look like? And then what are maybe some of your top 2-3 favorite books that you're like, dude, if I could only read 2 or 3 books or recommend 2 or 3 books, like what would those be?
Oh, here comes the truth. Okay, when it comes to books, I'm going to be honest. I'm such a go. I really suck at sitting down and fucking reading books. So
you do like audiobooks? Like
I just started the Audible. Thank you. I can't remember who it was on Facebook that recommended that. That was the fucking God's gift.
See, you operate at a speed like I do, right? We got severe ADD and we go at 1,000,000 miles an hour. So
I've always wanted to create
2x speed on your audiobooks.
Yes.
So I buy them on iTunes, 2x speed.
Yes.
While I'm at the gym. So I crush like 4 books a week. The only hard part about it is now when I have conversations with people, if they're talking slow, I get so fucking annoyed. Because I'm used to listening to everything at 2x speed. I'm like, so even my wife will have conversations and I'm like, kind of like,
don't you feel like you're kind of pushing them over the hill and they get so annoyed? I'm like, okay, and then what happened? They're like, well, I'm not done telling them a story. I'm like, no, I want to know what happened.
Right, yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. Point. But the 2x speed audiobooks, dude, you end up just
nailed it. No, so what I'll do is, okay, so I mean, let's talk about mornings. Mornings, I get up, I do a whole wake up, whatever my coach taught me, waking up your body. You can't just pop out of bed. I learned. For me, I can't. I'm addicted to that bulletproof coffee.
Dude, it's the bomb.
Dude.
I name dropped it. This is the 3rd or 4th episode today that we've name dropped this.
Oh my God. So I'm 2 weeks strong, never going to Starbucks again.
Yep.
Oh my God, amazing.
How do you so you do it in the morning, do you 2 cups, 1 cup?
I do 2 cups in the morning and I am solid.
Yeah.
All day. I'm loving life. No crash. I'm not dragging ass, and I feel amazing.
So when you're doing the Bulletproof coffee, do you do the brain octane oil from them, or you just do MC2 oils, or what do you do?
The MC2s, and I add coconut oil.
Okay.
And I love it.
Yeah.
I haven't done the brain octane yet. I'm a little nervous.
Yeah, I do the brain octane because it's
it's
18
dead on.
times stronger than coconut oil, and it's an MC2. It's a medium chain triglyceride, but it's Dave Asprey, who's obviously the founder of. He's just a brilliant cat. So yeah, I mean it's what I use. So yeah.
Okay, well then I'm gonna sign that up and I'll let you know how that goes in 2 weeks.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I'll try.
Oh,
that
dude,
one.
like I bulk ship that shit. Like I have like 10 bottles at a time. Oh yeah, because one time I ran out, dude. I'm like, this is what it would feel like to be like on a heroin withdrawal. Like literally, my wife and I.
Now I know.
3 days without. I'm like, oh my god, how do we function? It's kind of scary.
No, it's true. Like it's true. So, and I think the number one thing that I focus on is me. I am selfish. Like I have to do my things, or I'm gonna be a fucking asshole to society. I have to work out. I've decided that. That's my time, my me time. That's where.
So all this is happening in the morning.
It's in the morning.
Okay.
Yeah, I am. I do the green smoothie thing. I know.
What time do you wake up?
5.
Okay.
Sometimes, I've been waking up at 3 in the morning right now.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Because
welcome to 3 a.m. club, sister.
You know why though? I think, and I always get excited. Everybody's like, "Oh my god, I can't sleep." No, I'm like, dude, I'm on the verge of epicness. Because usually when I'm waking up early, I'm so fucking excited because I'm creating shit.
Yeah.
And that's what I love. And it's my time. It's my space. My kids get up at 5, so I got 2 hours ahead of them.
Right.
You know what I mean? Get the kids ready, and then I just start grinding. I literally start grinding now. For me time, about halfway through the day, I've got to shut everyone out. I literally will go to a space, whether it's in my car, whether it's like in a room, and I shut down for a good 15 minutes, and I have no phone, no music, no nothing. It's my me time. It's my breathing. I get my ahas. I get my clarity. I shut everyone out. It's been huge for me. I guess you can call it meditation.
Yeah.
It's my form of meditation. I love it. And then right before I go get the kids and dinner time is when I do my journaling. I'm always listening to audiobooks in the car. My kids are sick of it right now.
Right.
But
they'll thank you later.
Yeah, they'll thank me later. Yeah, because my son's dropping knowledge at the dinner table. But so I'll do the audiobooks. I strongly, strongly believe that you should read up into a point where you get that whoa and journal it. Evernote is your friend. Evernote your thoughts. I didn't believe in it, but looking back over 3 years, you'll see your growth, and it's pretty insane.
Yeah.
Evernote your photos, whatever. So I Evernote that's usually half hour, 45 minutes.
So when you're journaling, I mean, are you journaling overall life? You journaling business? You all of the above?
Ahas, vents. Like I go back and read it sometimes. I'm like, whoa, I was batshit crazy that day.
Yeah.
Like you just get it out, and through that, you'll get your growth. You will get your growth through it. Like if I have an interaction with somebody that was very pivotal, I document that.
And it's all you. This is all written for you.
It's all written.
Yeah, and I feel like for me, and maybe some of the listeners out there that are like me, like I'm a horrible writer.
Okay.
Like I'm wanting to write a book, and I'm thinking about writing a book before the end of this year. But I'm like, I can't write. I gotta do a cat where I just speak.
Video it.
Yeah. So that's what I started doing. I uploaded it, not for the book, but get a private YouTube channel. Just video your own thoughts, upload them. And not a soul needs to know about the channel. Nobody can see it.
So I have a private blog, and it's a vlog. And it's videos over the last 3 years. And every now and then I'll get like kind of daring and I'll release something on Facebook. And I always get like mad. Like it's deep. But
you should transcribe all that, dude. And just like at some point you publish this to some gnarly fucking
and it's like, and I didn't realize I have a rolling journal. And even with, if you have kids, not to get all mom on the show, but if you have kids, something I've done for my kids since they were born is I did set up a Gmail. Well, it's a Gmail account. And I was going in there the other day and looking at their stuff, and I was going with them. It's awesome to see their growth.
Yeah.
Just my son in the last 6 years, like I have videos of him too when he's rapping. Like it's just.
So you just create the video, you email it to the Gmail account?
I just email it to him. I email it to him. And what's cool is I know people are like, oh, wait to give him access. No, my kids have a tablet. They have access to Gmail, and it's locked down, and they're in there all the time.
Yeah.
They're in there all the time.
You ever nervous that they'll delete one on accident?
No, I'm not. Yeah. I'm not.
It's kind of like Good Luck Charlie. You ever watch that show?
Oh yeah, Good Luck Charlie. Oh, I love it. But
so it was like, oh, dude, you watch Breaking Bad? I'm like, no, dude, we crushed some dog with a blog and Good Luck Charlie.
Oh, dude, and this Crash and Bernstein, I have that song down. But yeah, you just gotta journal your notes and get engaged with people, and don't be afraid to ask questions. Yeah. There's a lot of times, like if I see somebody in an event, I saw you in an event, and I probably dropped way too many questions, but I'm always curious to know how people are doing what they're doing, and you need to ask that.
Yep, dig it,
whether
it's
personal or professional.
Yep, love it. So, what do you like? what do you do? And then maybe this is part of your reflection and with your goal setting, but I mean, you just keep leveling up. Like most people be like, okay, dude, like you got a lot going on, like you're pretty good, right? Like, what do you do? I know you talked about, okay, what I'm doing is to keep my mindset positive, but what do you do to ensure, because good is the worst enemy to great. Like, what do you do to ensure that you're never allowing yourself to just be good or good enough to make sure that you're always striving for greatness, always going after your full potential? I mean, what do you do, whether it's hanging out certain people, and what do you do for that?
I think I have a screw loose, to be honest with you. I admit it. I think I have a screw loose. Like, I don't ever think I'm doing good enough.
Yeah.
I never think I'm doing good enough. I actually think I'm doing really shitty right now, even though I have people who are like, oh my God, dude, oh my God. It's just that screw that I have loose. And then I also look back through that journal. I look back and I see how much shit I gave up.
Right.
Like, I'll be honest, I gave up a marriage. I gave up a kid. I gave up this. And I didn't give up all of that shit that I worked so hard for to just be mediocre.
Right.
I don't believe in being mediocre. If you're being mediocre, you're cheating yourself and you're cheating the world.
Yeah.
So my whole goal is to push the level and push the bar as absolutely far as I fucking can until I fall off.
Yep. Yep. Yeah, and I think a lot of people can't relate, right? They don't know what that feels like. But in some people, like I'll get comments sometimes like, "Oh, Josh, I feel sorry for you," because I'll be like, I create a video every time, like I never strive for relaxation. Like, why do I need to pause from this epic stuff that I'm creating, right?
In the momentum.
And people look at that like, oh, I feel sorry for you, but they don't understand. And I think they confuse it of just because you're never satisfied doesn't mean you're not fulfilled.
100%.
You can be totally. I always tell people like, never be satisfied. Always want more.
Be hungry,
right? So always reaching for your full potential, and none of us will ever hit our full potential. So you're always going to be striving for more. But it's absolutely important to also be fulfilled. And if you're taking action on what you want, you're going to be fulfilled. That's what creates fulfillment.
You know, it's funny you say that because I had an epiphany driving over here. I was actually in Grant. I had an epiphany when I was driving over here. I was like, holy fuck! I didn't even realize I'm 32. I'm like half fucking dead. Like, I know it's a weird thought. I have these weird thoughts, and I'm like, I'm half fucking dead, dude. I have X amount of time to just go fucking hard.
Yep.
To go hard.
Yep.
And that's just like, that's the way my brain operates. So it's really, you need to look at what you have right now and ask yourself why you don't have what you want.
Yeah, so I do an exercise, this lifetime study. So if the average human being lives to, let's say, 84 years old, all right, if I'm blessed to live the average age you have a human being, starting August 1st, so starting tomorrow, because I'm 33, right, and if I do the proration of the months, I have 603 months left on planet Earth.
Oh my God, I love that.
And only 603 months. So everywhere I go, I have 603. So like this month it was 604. The next month it's, because think how fast these months just fly off the calendar. So not 603 everywhere. Just with that understanding and looking at that. But then what's crazy, if we look at that, a third of that's pissed away by sleep. Another third of that is pissed away typically by most of a job that they're miserable and hate.
Yes.
So okay, I got 603 months left. We're really only living 1/3 of it. Which is really sad. And it's more people, they spend more time designing the grocery list.
It's almost like, have you ever done the Vision Quest? So I did like some bold training. It was like 3 years ago or something with Cody Gibson, and he did this vision.
I've never heard of that Vision Quest.
Oh my God, this is insane. So I got to get this. I'm still trying to get the script out of him, but he essentially, you close your eyes and you go on this like vision walk, and basically you imagine yourself going down the road, and you can see the leaves, you can see this, and you're walking down this road, and you're by yourself, and the breeze is coming in, and then at the end you're sitting on the porch. You're like 90 years old. You're rocking. Who is around you, and what do you regret? Don't bring those regrets to that rocking chair.
Yeah.
I don't want these motherfuckers around when I'm 90. Like, I'll be honest. And that's I think that you really need to look. A lot of people are afraid of death or are afraid of the end. You need to already take yourself to there in your head and find out what your life should look like, and then build backwards.
Yep. Couldn't agree more. You got to live life intentionally. So, you got 3, or how many? You got 2 kids.
2.
2 kids. I have 3. You got 2.
Yeah.
So, okay.
2
so,
that I know that I have 2. Maybe I have one out there, but no, I know I have 2.
You have 2, right? So you got all this going on. And it's tough for, I when I speak to, because whether it's my teammates or other coaching clients, I think it's very difficult, more difficult for moms than it probably is for dads, right? Mm-hmm. Whether we're just brought up to, who knows? But when I speak to a lot of moms that are entrepreneurs, they really struggle with, okay, I've got to put all these hours in over here, but I also need to make sure that, I'm at home and doing those duties and being involved. And I don't believe in balance. I don't think that there's any such thing as balance.
Thank you. There's no balance. There's integration.
Yep. So you integrate and you compartmentalize,
yes.
right? So, okay, like balance, like, okay, my health only gets 45 minutes at the gym. My work might get 12 hours. My kids might get 2 hours. My wife gets 1 hour. So it's not balance. It's not equal time. How do you, because you got a great relationship with the kids. You guys are out there doing epic stuff.
Oh my God, I fucking love them.
So when you're involved, you're not that absent parent.
No.
So how do you hold it all together? Because you've got all this stuff, a lot of this stuff that's building up, and you because you're humble and you downplayed with Seek of You, and maybe it's because contractually you can't announce some of the names, but you guys have like these massive, huge, epic contracts, that you're doing. So you got all this going on, but then you still got to show up there. Like how do you keep that part all together to make sure that you're not neglecting one or the other?
So I don't consciously think about all the shit I have going on, because I'd probably have a fucking meltdown. Like, I do not think about anything that I have going on. But how do I keep it together? My number one focus is my children. My clients know that. If you want to go see a house and my kid's having a meltdown, guess what? We're going to be 15 minutes late and you're going to have to fucking deal with it. My kids come first. My kids are part of my job. They come to work if they have to. They are part of my gym. They are part of my life, because I want them to learn from me, because I didn't get that opportunity growing up. I want them to learn the motions now so they can make conscious decisions. So I just integrate them. I 100% integrate them. I have communication with them. I talk to them, and I'm not going to lie. I have a great ex-husband. Yeah. Like, we're still good friends. And it could have gone south at any moment, but there's two types of people. There's people that react on emotions or logic, and you have to be logical in those situations and put your priorities first. Yeah. They're my priority. So they're with me every damn day, and they're part. I mean, if anything, I think my son, if I throw him on YouTube, he's going to have way more viewers than us. Yeah, that's
awesome. You're starting to see that, dude. You're starting to see these kids, whether it's video game channels that, they're 13-year-olds banking $3 million a year off of YouTube. He
posted a video on YouTube. And I didn't know. I found out through my ex, and I actually got in trouble because he hit 18,000 views. He was 5, and he was talking about anti-bullying, and you could see the camera shaking because my 4-year-old was recording. He was in front of a whiteboard, and I had no idea. I had to take the shit down though, because I'm like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's awesome.
So, but you've got to invest. You have to invest, and I think a lot of times this is the thing, people feel guilty. Don't feel fucking guilty. My kids will give me a guilt trip sometimes, and this is for the moms. Your kids are going to give you a guilt trip, and if you choose to take the guilt trip, you're an idiot. My kids will, but mom, you always have to work. I have to work because of this. Don't feel sorry for what you have to do. You have obligations. You need to stick to them, and you need to explain to them. They're going to earn respect through that. Yeah. And that's how I've been able to do it. Because, I'll admit, the first couple of years, I felt really sorry, like a shithole mom, because all I wanted to do was work. Yeah. But then you have that epiphany that there's a reason you're doing it. It's for a larger picture. Yeah.
And you're leading by example, right? Kids don't do what we 100%. Say, they do what you do. And you're setting those values in your kids that you want your kids to have as well. Mm-hmm. All right, so I got a couple last questions for you. But before we do that again, can you drop websites? How do people reach you? And we'll make sure, Aaron, you throw them in the show notes and all of that as well. If they want to go to... I still can't pronounce it. Folk You. Yeah. So if they want to go to Folk You, if they want to check out Seek of You,
all of that. Okay.
Yeah, all of that.
Real estate. Do you want me to just break it down by category?
Yeah.
I guess that's the best way to do it.
But then really quickly as well, like maybe somebody's like, holy crap, like some of the stuff Anna, just really resonated with me. Mm-hmm. Or maybe they want to reach out. They have a specific question. Do you have like a private email or some?
I have a private email. Well? Yeah, I have a private email. And to be honest with you, my Facebook, like the PM is full. Like the private messaging is full. Like you can hit me up there too.
Okay.
Because that's always up and going. So real estate wise, if you want to get in touch with what we're doing with real estate, we're Knock Knock Pros. So it's www.knockknockpros.com. The Seek of You, which everybody needs to get on there. At least if you could do us a favor, get on there and test drive some of the houses. Walk through and give us your feedback, because we are a new startup company. We just released to public July 1. Let us know what you think. Like, we're all ears. We're here to help. So that's www.seekavu.com. And then Folk You is this project that I absolutely love. And I'll be honest, it was supposed to drop July 4th, but I never realized all the work that goes into a vlogging. Because it's like your heart, it's your soul. Like, this project has given me a lot of anxiety, and it's been on hold for about 2 weeks. And I'm like, shit, do I drop that content? So that's actually going to be coming out in the next, I'd say 2 weeks. And that's www.folk. So it's FAULKUYOU.com. Each of those entities have our own Instagram, our own Twitter, our own Facebook feeds. So, I mean, if you're on Facebook, get on there and research us. Yeah. You can find me, Anna Selby, and then you'll find everything else you need to know.
Yeah. Badass, dude. Dig it. So, okay. So, just a couple more questions here. I know it's getting down. We're probably hitting close to that 2 hour mark. Dropping a lot of epic knowledge here. So, what do you feel? Because we talked a lot about your successes, and we definitely hit some low parts. And I know it's kind of tough to break it down to maybe one or two, but I truly believe that those biggest pain points, those biggest failures, are what truly define us as entrepreneurs, as human beings, and become our biggest blessings. So, what? And I hate calling them failures. I love to just think, okay, what are you in life? You're either succeeding or you're learning.
Absolutely.
What do you feel been? And just speaking business wise, right? Just speaking business here.
Okay.
What do you feel like your biggest learning experience, or maybe one or two, has been that have truly defined the badass entrepreneur that you are today?
Teaming up with like individuals or teams and getting in the grind with them and not focusing on, oh shit, I'm not making all the 100% commission. Screw the commission. Invest your time in it. Figure out, if you have to go to a second job, figure it out and figure out that grind. Because once you understand how they're grinding, then you can do it on your own. And that was one thing I used to beat myself up on is, oh my God, I just wasted a whole year and a half, 2 years, giving somebody else my commission. Bullshit. Looking back, there's no price tag for that.
Yeah.
There's really no price tag. So you need to invest in yourself.
Yep.
And you need to swallow your damn pride and go do the goddamn work.
Yep. Yep. Love it. So, okay, you get wiped out financially, right? Like everything's gone, and maybe you move to another state, right?
Yeah.
You got to start. Yeah. So, well, and this is just a hypothetical situation. Like if it happened again, right? So you have to restart over, new state, but it's just you, no partnership. Like you're starting all over by yourself with little to no resources. And again, this is just speaking business, but you've retained everything that you've learned. You got this PhD now up here, that you've retained. What are the first maybe couple, 2-3 things that you go out there and start doing immediately to rebuild the empire that you built?
So if you're moving, say I moved to California, let's just do hypothetical. Say I moved to California. How am I going to do it? I'm going to go find the top people that are in the market. I want number 1 and I want number 2, and they're going to tell me to F off, and I'm going to keep going to them until I can figure out how to mentor them. I still do this now. I still go mentor with all the top players for a day. Go mentor with them and understand what they're doing and be present. Go to as many events, as many engagements, and brand yourself on all your social media platforms. Hey guys, guess where I'm doing today? Hey, guess who I'm with today? Guess what I learned today? Yep. Get out there. Don't be a secret entrepreneur, a secret agent, and don't be afraid to blast your skill set out there.
So when you say, okay, go find that mentor, and this is speaking about you, if you moved to California to start over and you had little to no money, would you go, meaning mentor them to shadow them for a day? I mean, meaning I'm going to find them and I'm going to work on their team.
I'm going to be your little grunt. I'm going to be your bitch.
Okay, yeah.
I really am. I'm going to work with you. Because I know if I invest the time and understand your market, your network, and how it works, I'm going to understand how to do that market. Every market's different. I mean, prime example, like if I were to move to California, I'd be hunting down Josh Altman.
Right.
I'd be hunting him down, and I would go to the same gym as him. I would go to eat lunch where he eats. I would shop where he shopped. I would mimic, shadow, because at the end of the day, I know that I have value that I could give to him, and vice versa.
Right.
It could be a win-win.
And really, it's no different than what you did applying for janitor jobs to get this job.
No, you've got to be able to get in the damn trenches.
Yeah.
You have to get in the trenches, because if you get in the trenches and you work your way up, it doesn't matter how many times you fall down. You've been to the trench and you know the steps you need to take to get back up.
Yeah, dig it, dude, dig it. So, okay, so last, not really a question, I guess. Words of encouragement, words of inspiration to give our listeners. GSD Mode started creating, and we've been at this now for 5 or 6 months now. Really similar to your platform, right? Where it's hey, life's brief. We want to wake people up, give them the tactical knowledge, but also the inspiration to go out there and create an epic life. So, we're interviewing top entrepreneurs, top health and fitness professionals, and people really just to help them to go out there and be like, hey, look, here's an uber successful person that also has maybe had some of the same struggles that I've had. They pulled it together. They get, the knowledge that you've been able to share and drop with them and help them really go out there and wake up and go out there and create the epic life that everybody deserves. You get one crack at this life, right? As far as I know, reincarnation doesn't exist, right?
So far, we don't know.
So with that being said, do you have any last words of inspiration or motivation to our listeners out there? We're in 85 countries right now. We've got about 40,000 downloads every single month of people watching this, to go out there and be like, hey, go out there and just create that epic life.
So let's talk about power. I mean, it's kind of a story, not to go off, but this is what hit home to me. Somebody had told me a story a long time ago. I can't remember if it was a yoga class or something, that we were all born with this huge, significant, unstoppable power. And at one point, we all had this power, and it became an epidemic, and we kept sabotaging one another. So what happened is the gods, whatever you believe in, had a meeting, and they said, hey, let's hide that power. Let's take it away from everybody, and let's put it in the mountains. Well, if we put it in the mountains, everybody's going to join forces together, and they're going to go up and get it. We're going to put it in the sea. We're going to put it in the ocean. Over and over, they kept putting it different places, but people kept finding that power. Again, this is hypothetical, but just get the lesson out of it. So what they decided at the end of the day is they were going to bury that power so damn deep within you, because odds are you're not going to face yourself and you're not going to dig deep and find it. And that's the biggest lesson you need to know. Your power is already in you. You don't need to take a pill. You don't need to do it. You need to tap into you, and it's horrible, scary layers to get down there to face yourself. But once you do it, you are fucking unstoppable. Yeah. You're unstoppable. So you just need to keep shining, and you need to do it.
Yeah, I love it, man.
So
perfectly said. I love it. So, hey, to our listeners out there, number one, thank you guys for listening. Thank you for watching. Information without implementation is delusion. Right, so you heard some badass stories, some badass tactical stuff from different scripts of calling people, of social media strategies to health. I mean, I don't know if there's much. We didn't cover politics and religion. That's episode number 2 that we'll hit on. Daniel,
from a cave where nobody can find us.
Right. So, but I think anything else in life, we pretty much hit on this
you got
episode.
it all in one.
So to our listeners out there, again, you guys take some of these nuggets that you heard today, implement. That's the key to success. And
reach out.
Yeah.
Like obtainable. If you have questions, just reach out.
Yep. Absolutely.
And I thank you.
Yeah.
You've been huge. So
yeah, it's been an absolute honor. Thank you so much for being on the show. We'll do it again really, really soon. You guys, peace out. Keep dominating. And we'll be talking really soon.